Weekly Game Night presents Bretwalda by Phalanx Games. Bretwalda is played on the map divided into Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. Rich graphics, Old English names and beautiful art will let you immerse into the world of the 8th century Saxons. On the map you will find dedicated spaces for decks of cards. On the game board you will also find the victory track. And on the other side of the board you will find the round track showing the current season of the year. Each player will receive the player board representing his kingdom. On the board you will find 8 spaces for your kingdom tile and your chronicle cards. There is also a slot for your current ruler and the actions you've taken. And as Bretwalda is a asymmetrical game, each ruler will have its own unique ability. You will receive 3 rulers for the entire game. If one dies, you will be able to use another one, but once you are out of your rulers, the game is over for you. Keep them safe. And each kingdom will have its own unique ability as well. What would your kingdom be without stories that bards can sing about? And this is exactly what chronicle cards are. Your secret objective that will get you some points. Each kingdom needs soldiers, but don't you worry, there's plenty of miniatures in Bretwalda. In the box you will find miniatures that look like medieval chess pieces. So cool! The most important miniature is of course the ruler. And the ruler needs the soldiers. There are 3 land units: Ealdormen, Teens, and Seals. Each of these units has its own unique cost, movement points, health points, and die used for combat. Oh, and there are naval units as well. Overall, each faction comes with 16 miniatures. And if that wasn't enough, we have Danes, the mighty Vikings invading Saxons' lands. And you have the neutral units as well. In Bretwalda you will find several decks of cards. Leadership cards will give you some additional bonuses. And oh my, look at the graphic design. There is also Danes deck, which will show you where Danes will land. And there are also season cards, each one with unique season effect. Finally, in the box you will find combat dice and the whole set of tokens including buildings, money, dogs, pillage and food. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation of Bretwalda, and now let's get to the gameplay basics. Bretwalda is a game played on map divided into regions of 4 types: countryside, capitals, city and sea. 4 monarchs will be fighting for the crown of the overlord of all Saxons, the title of Bretwalda. The winner of the game will be player with the most Dalk symbols, and you will get these by controlling regions, building and controlling abbeys. For each 3 abbeys you control, you will get 1 Dalk symbol. And there are Chronicles cards as well, that will give you up to 2 Dalk symbols. Every time you get a Dalk symbol, also known as victory point, you will progress on the victory track. Once any player gets the required number of points for the player count, that player will become Bretwalda and the game immediately ends. There are, however, 2 other ways that the game can end. First, if any player loses all his rulers. And second, if you get to the final 12th round of the game. without meeting two previously stated conditions. Whatever you do, keep your eye on these dark symbols. The game of Bretwalda consists of 12 rounds, and each round consists of 3 phases: Season phase, Action phase, and Priority phase. In the Season phase, you reveal the season card for this round and then resolve the specific seasonal impact. In addition to the season cards, each season has its own specific effect. In spring, you may exchange a Chronicle card in your hand with the one from the deck, and you can never have more than 2 Chronicle cards in your hand. Summer is when the fun starts. At the start of the summer season, Danes sail to Britain on their dracars. At the bottom of the summer card there is information on how many Danes will appear. Fortunately, players can take advantage of their greedy nature and influence where they will land. First, all players besides the leading one will get the treasury coins based on the number of victory points they are behind the leading player. In this example, blue players would get 3 coins. Next, pretty much the same as in Game of Thrones, players will show all the coins they have and then secretly choose the number of coins they wanna bid. Player that was bidding the most coins wins the influence bid. As a reward, winning player will get number of Danes cards and choose where the Danes will land. Once the card is chosen, Danes will land in the shown province. And with each unit that is on the sea or has landed on the land, there will be pillage tokens placed on the map. And you cannot collect food or coins in the province with the pillage tokens, so winning that bid might be very influential. And if Danes land in the province with player units, they will start a battle. Next we have the autumn. In this season, you will also bid, but this time to move neutral and Danes units. Unlike in the summer, this time all players that took part in the bidding will have a chance to move the units, starting with the player that won the bid. And if you get to move Danes, they will add new pillage tokens in the provinces adjacent to the province they have just entered. Finally, we have the winter. In winter, you cannot collect food with the collection action. Additionally, you will have to feed all your units besides the ruler. And if you cannot feed any unit, that unit will be lost. So it's super important to collect food in the seasons before the winter. Next, it's time for the action phase. Each player will have possibility of playing 2 actions in any given round. These actions are Fyrd, movement, collection, and development. With the Fyrd action, you will have the possibility of recruiting new units or upgrading the existing ones. Each unit has its own unique cost. You can recruit just 1 land unit in any city or 2 in your capital. Additionally, you can recruit a ship. Additionally, in the Fyrd action, you will have the possibility of buying leadership cards. Each leadership card costs 2 coins, and these cards might be very powerful, so you better get some. Next is the movement action. By taking this action, players will be able to move all their units. It costs 1 movement point to cross the thin border and 2 movement points to cross the thick border of the province. By moving, you will be able to take control of the provinces and start the battles. Once the player is done with the movement, it's time for some battles. The battle consists of 2 rounds, split into a couple of steps. Each unit in the battle will give you specific dice. Additionally, if you are defending in the city or capital, you will get an extra defensive dice. In the first step of the battle, you can play leadership cards. Once all players are done, it's time for some dice rolling. Both players will roll dice in search for sword or shield symbols. After the roll, you will compare your swords with the opponent's shield symbols. If you have more swords, you you will be able to inflict a wound. At this point of the battle, one player may retreat, or they can continue fighting in the second round. The same as in the first round, you will be able to play leadership cards, and then it's time for some dice rolling. Only the units that survived on the field of battle will generate you some dice. If the attacker cannot kill all the enemy units, he will have to retreat to the adjacent province. And if your ruler is killed in the battle, you will remove the current ruler card and choose the new one from the cards that are left. Remember, you have only 3 rulers for the entire game. With the movement action, you can also move your ships. And if you end your movement in the region containing your opponent's ship, the battle will start. Third type of action the player can take is the collection. Based on the symbols in the provinces you control, you will be able to gather gold and food. At the start of the game, you will be able to collect only in the provinces you have units in. However, as the game goes, you will be able to buy yourself a kingdom tile that will allow you to collect in all provinces under your control. To buy kingdom tiles that will enhance your actions, you will have to take development action. As there are 4 actions to take, there are also 4 kingdom tiles type to buy. To buy a kingdom tile, you will have to spend 3 coins. But as you can see in this example, the red player has already bought monastery schools and he only pays 1 coin for another kingdom tile. You have only 2 slots for each kingdom tile type, so choose wisely. Additionally, with taking the development action, players will be able to buy building. There are 4 different buildings and each of them costs 3 coins. Granary will let you get additional 1 food during collection. Mid Hall will get you 1 free leadership card during Fyrd action. Harbor will let you exchange 1 food for 2 gold. Abbey, not only it gives you 1 additional gold during collection, but also you will get 1 Dalk symbol for 3 abbeys you control. Third and final phase of the round is the priority phase. Based on the number of Dalks, you will choose pretender for the next round. If 2 players are tied, you will then check controlled land areas, capitals, areas with cities, and so on. Pretender is a first player and he also gets to decide about the draws. In the priority phase, you will also get to draw a 1 chronicle card. And so it goes, round by round, season by season. Players will try to get Bretwalda title and become the ruler of all Saxons. These were the gameplay basics for Bretwalda. And if you liked what you see, be sure to check Bretwalda rules for negotiations, building destructions, fortifications, and many more.